I think we should change things around so that Peter and I are the wine kings and you're Tarzan.
Wine Tarzan.
You're wine Tarzan.
Doesn't sound bad.
Doesn't sound bad, no.
It sounds wild. I prepared white wines.
And we changed the rules. Initially, Jay was going to blind taste me. And Bernadette thought it'd be much more fun if we both blind tasted.
That is true.
And so Bernadette purchased some wines. I don't know what any of the wines are. It's both an advantage and disadvantage for you, because sometimes knowing what some of the wines are, you start finding them where they don't exist. Right?
We've experienced that kind of thing multiple times. Right?
Yeah, so we're going to do some blind tasting and we'll talk about how we're doing it. And we do it not for torture, but as a learning exercise, and hopefully it'll be fun for the viewers.
Must be fun. I already know the answer.
Now, some of the viewers have asked us questions repeatedly, and so we're going to try to answer a couple of them. One is, how much do we drink? And sometimes enough, sometimes not enough, sometimes too much. But largely, when we are tasting, doing this tasting is tasting, unless we're having some big party, we use these mugs, and Jay edits out us spitting into the mugs.
Yeah, it's a hard job.
It's a hard job. By and large, the goal is to keep your mind sharp and your tasting sharp and not to drink anything.
That is true.
When we go to a trade tasting, we would taste 60, 80 wines during a multiple hour tasting. We would spit them all. Otherwise you wind up drunk and you don't remember what you tasted.
You may be happy, but it's not professional.
Yeah, it's not professional.
Yeah, we spit them all out.
And we have the lovely Bernadette wearing her wine lover shirt.
That's true. That's the correct shirt for today.
Correctly, correct. I don't want to do this wrong on camera. Enough? The right amount?
Yeah, maybe a tiny bit more.
That's why I asked. I haven't seemed to mess it up. Jay, how about you?
Yeah, just fine.
Now,
Thank you.
and here's a trick for Bernadette and for the viewers. You can pour the same amount to everybody, even though they have different glasses. You just count 1, 2, 3, and this way everybody would get the same amount of wine. If you're pouring a large number of people, to pour the same amount for everybody.
The more you pour, the more I end up drinking because I don't like to spit. So I like a half pour. Okay, and I have one rule.
All right.
I say who speaks first about the wine.
All right. So Bernadette is the wine queen.
She's the wine queen. What I'd like us to do first is to just go through and smell the wines, and we'll be looking for what's called a banker. And then if there's one wine that jumps out, one or more that jumps out at you or me, we could start there.
And those bottles are not my choices. They are the wines that our subscribers, our waffles, wanted us to taste.
What's good?
You go first.
I go first?
Yes.
Okay, so let's taste just the first wine first. I wouldn't have started on this one, and the reason being is that there were a couple of other wines that on the nose, I thought I knew what they were, and I would have started there. This one's a bit difficult.
Yeah, this one is really difficult.
Because on the nose, I get some non-specific fruit, a little bit of mineral, a little bit floral, nothing that's screaming out, "This is who I am!" No.
No.
It's whispering. The wine is whispering. Slight green note on the palate as well. It's medium bodied. It's got crisp acidity, right? It's creamy on the texture because I've done this lees stirring. The finish is fairly long.
Yeah.
It's a nice quality wine. I enjoy drinking it or tasting it. Bernadette's drinking it.
It's good.
And then she's hiding her glasses with the bottle.
Nobody really knows.
How about you, Jay? Do you have anything to add?
I also find it's a little bit buttery, the finish. And I think it's slightly oaked, oak aged, but not over oaked.
Right.
And then I smell lots of apricot, ripe apricot in it.
We try to put these different pieces together. If that first impression we both had is correct, anytime you say slight buttery and slight oak, we have to consider, could this be Chardonnay?
And it is.
It is Chardonnay.
Chardonnay from Napa Valley, California.
Chardonnay from Napa Valley, California.
Many years ago, I met a classy lady in a hotel bar, and I didn't like any of the wines on the list. And she gave me a bottle, and it was really good, but it was expensive. It's called Cakebread.
Cakebread cellars.
And
Chardonnay
not
Napa
to be
Valley.
confused with layer cake or
Yeah.
cupcake, which are really cheap wines.
And it's beautifully balanced
Yeah.
because it didn't scream I'm New World. The fruit is elegant. The acid was nice. The oak use was very well done.
Yeah, exactly.
And the buttery part that you picked up, 18% malolactic. This is an example of California doing a beautiful job.
And we don't normally drink this one, but I saw it and I thought, oh, Patrick hasn't had this in a decade.
It was a good excuse to enjoy it, right?
Right.
That's a big thumbs up.
Yeah, big thumbs up. And it's rare to feel mineral characteristic from Napa Valley Chardonnay.
Right. Very nice one.
All right.
Yeah, he's gonna-
And how much is this?
Almost $50.
$50.
Second wine is for Jay to begin.
All right. It's very tropical and it's almost sweet on the nose. The palate is really fresh. I really like the freshness. It tastes lots of peach. And then I think it's from Old World. I think they haven't used oak.
Now with me, I got citrus, floral. On the palate, I got the smoky characteristic. Acid fairly good, fairly full-bodied, creamy finish.
Well, it's Old World.
Is it from Sicilia?
It is. It's Donnafugata.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's a Catarato.
Patrick and I were at Donnafugata's vineyard in Sicily with the wine lovers.
That's why you wore the wine lover t-shirt.
But we loved her. She gave a talk. We had a charity for breast cancer, and they were very generous.
And we love the wine.
This
And we
is
love
a
the
great
wine. And it's got a beautiful label, and it's a very nice wine.
It's very nice. I don't think it's expensive. 15.
15. So for $15, it's a very nice wine.
This is really good.
Yeah, so we've had two delicious wines so far.
Yeah, very nice beginning.
Very nice beginning. Okay, so let's do the third one.
All right.
Full-bodied, acid's okay, fairly high alcohol. It's a fairly ripe wine. There's tannins on the finish. And I think that they're oak tannins.
I find a lot of butteriness
Yeah.
and oak. I thought it was Chardonnay.
It's a wine that I used to drink before I met Patrick because I liked the way it sounded. Pouilly Fussé?
Pouilly?
Which is
Yeah.
Chardonnay.
This isn't cheap. It's $40.
No. I would pay $10 more for the first.
Yeah.
It's not a good value.
It's not cheap. It's $40.
Yeah.
Certainly, somebody buying it with their money and not buying it with my money, I'd be quite happy to drink it.
So did Bernadette buy this or it's on your money?
I bought it with our money.
Your eyes are getting red. I still would pay $10 more for the first one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jay, you're up for wine number 4.
Thank you, because this is a banker.
It is a banker. That's where I would have started.
It's very minerally, and I smell lots of petrol, and it's so Riesling-like for me. So I think it's Riesling, and I think it's from cool climate. I think it's from Alsace.
The same thing. I'd underline petrol. Citrus, mineral, very crisp acidity. The alcohol level's lower, creamy finish, very long.
Very subtle, isn't
Yeah,
it?
elegant wine.
Yeah.
I agree. Old world, cool climate. Let's find out from our inquisitor. Jay's right. It's from Alsace.
Trimbach, Riesling.
For a while, there was a store in Iselin, New Jersey that sold this, and I used to buy it all the time. 6 years ago, they were like $18, $19 a bottle.
Now it's 26. I love the wine.
Yeah, I love the wine too.
Yeah.
Very nice one. Okay, and then I'm up for the last one.
Yep.
So this one also has some bubbles on the bottom from carbon dioxide.
Yeah. More bubbles, actually.
More bubbles. And this is very expressive on the nose. There's lots of ripe flavors. There's citrus peel and dried fruit and floral. And I can feel the bubbles on the tip of my tongue. I don't think it's re-fermenting, but I think that carbon dioxide's left there to make the wine fresher.
It's very, very sweet.
Jay, do you like it?
I don't like it.
I'm not that crazy about it either.
It's very expressive on the nose, as Patrick said, but I don't like the taste.
The first time I had this wine, it was one of the few bottles left at the end of the evening, and we weren't too happy, but I think we drank
So this is not the wine that I brought.
No, it is. It just happens to have been, I remember the name. It's an unusual bottle.
Uh-huh.
Kungfu Girl.
This Kungfu Girl Riesling?
Yeah, Kungfu Girl Riesling. I think it's a crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Washington State, particularly for people who are not wine geeks, is much further north than California or Oregon. That said, most of the vineyards there are far to the east in the Columbia River Valley. That is a desert and is very warm. So this is warm climate Riesling that gives you more of that peach characteristic. And because it's warm climate Riesling, they've left the carbon dioxide in it to give it some freshness.
It doesn't show the Riesling's characteristics for me. Too ripe for me.
Too ripe for you.
I think it's $12 and it's very flat at the end.
Yes.
The finish is really short. I would save $12 in my bank rather than buying this.
At that price point, I prefer the Donnafugata one, which
Yeah, me
is
too.
Delicious, though hard to find. Going to be much easier to find Kungfu Girl in the United States.
Yeah!
I don't know how much that name is going to fly in Asia. I think maybe not.
Do you want to drink for a little bit? Do you want to?
No,
You want to dump it?
somebody had complained about when Jackie was here and she tasted a couple of wines, they were claiming we were giving illegal alcohol to an underage drinker.
Bernadette is a lawyer.
Yeah, so A, that was legal. B, she was just tasting it. And one of the viewers came to our defense and in a very artful and nice way said, hey, they did nothing wrong. You know, as a matter of fact, when families do that with their teenage children that they have a taste, they're less apt to abuse alcohol.
Yeah, it's a very good education.
It's a very good education.
Yeah. I learned how to drink from my father, so I think I learned how to behave well.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. When I was 14. A little bit earlier than Jackie.
Yeah, Jackie's 19. So
Yeah, exactly. Bernadette is a lawyer, so
And
she
she's a
doesn't
lawyer.
do anything illegal in front of camera, at
No.
least. My God.
she gamed us, right?
Yeah, right.
She scammed us and saying, this is the bonus one, it's a special one.
이럴 땐 이 와인 네이버 밴드로 놀러 오시면 와인을 잘 몰라도 편하고 싸게 사실 수 있도록 제가 많이 도와드립니다. 다들 만족하시고 좋아하시더라고요.